But it's been a busy week. I'm going to wrap it all up. Look forward into next week. Parliament returns, of course, House and Senate on Monday. And who better than my next two to do it all? Overnights on Radio 2GB, Luke Grant. Pauline Hanson's One Nation Chief of Staff, James Ashby. Gents, it's Friday. Great to have your company as always. We'll start with that PC report out today, focused on how we grow the economy, maintain our prosperity, and of course not jeopardise our standard of living along the way, but only if we tackle some tough reforms, said the PC Commission today. Luke, what was particularly concerning was this increase in public spending in areas like the NDIS. The Commission says we've got to scrutinise it properly. It supports the NDIS, but says we've got to get rid of the waste and inefficiencies. Now, it's a bit of a sacred cow, the old NDIS, political dynamite to touch it, but they've got to get into it, don't they?
Well, they really do, Peter. One of the problems that I think the government will have is it's not so much the boy who cried wolf, but let's not forget that they were spectacular in opposition in calling out, even if a paperclip was cut from the budget on the NDIS, it was the end of the world. Now, we've got to get real, and hopefully this report will encourage Australians to just accept the fact that it's nice to get free stuff, but you know, it's not unlimited. It takes political will. It'll take both sides of the parliament to come together. No scare campaigns, please. This is too important. There was a report in Sydney this morning about autism claims and how they're unevenly spread. I don't understand, Peter, why the map, the census that tells us where people have disabilities, why that shouldn't marry exactly with where NDIS spending is. It's not hard, surely.
Spot on. Net Zero too got a particular mention in the PC's report today, James. It's the same word too that my viewers all know this, I've told them. The UK has declared nuclear energy as green energy and sustainable, so it's now on the same footing over there as renewables. Given AUKUS and the fact that we're going to have to build up a nuclear industry here to support and sustain these subs, given that UK move I mentioned, and given the PC report today, surely we've got to rethink our ban on nuclear power.
Well, we sure do, Peter, and it's One Nation that's led this discussion in New South Wales with Mark Latham and Rod Roberts, and we're starting to open that discussion now in South Australia with Sarah Game. Federally, Malcolm Roberts and Pauline Hanson have also tried to achieve just a discussion. Let's have the debate. What's wrong with the debate? Doesn't mean we have to pass it, but let's debate it. And neither the Labor Party or the Liberal Party have, to this point, been willing to even put it up for debate. Yeah, of course, we've got to go down that path. And the Productivity Commission did worry me when they're only increasing the calls on more renewable resources. Now, Liddell shuts next month, Peter. That means 1,500 megawatts of coal-fired power is going to be taken out of our grid. Snowy Hydro's well behind the ball. It was supposed to be delivered in 2021. It's now not set to be delivered until 2027. Try and work out how we're going to power this country and lift productivity. We've got some big problems ahead of us.
Spot on. Let's stay with the subs. I saw this today. I thought I must have read it wrong, but I didn't read it wrong, and it absolutely takes the cake. So we get this subs announcement midweek for boats to come first from the US by the end of the decade, and then in 20 years' time, we'll see subs built in Adelaide. Well, tonight as we go to air, the South Australian Premier Peter Malinauskas has already jumped on a plane. He's on his way to Britain, quote, to size up the job. Now, look, this is a junket. They're 20 years off these subs. It is extraordinary. And he's also been a bit loose today. Even though the subs will be built in Adelaide, even though they will be sustained in Adelaide, any nuclear waste that comes off them, he says, we're not committing to keep that nuclear waste in Adelaide. Now, given all the desert they've got to the north, surely if they're going to make them, they're going to keep the nuclear waste.
Well, it's amazing. Through the week, the Adelaide Advertiser, their headline was SAUKUS, S-A-KUS. I thought that was very clever. There's going to be great benefit for South Australia, obviously. And I had a listener this morning, Peter, ring me about 3 o'clock and say, hang on, before they doled out all the work, shouldn't they have worked out this, you know, where the waste is going to go? If South Australia gets a benefit, then cop the waste. But fair dinkum, Malinauskas, he may as well lobby for the 2060 Olympics while he's there. Goodness me. You're right, it's a junket.
No, thanks.
It is a junket. I want to go to Snowy 2.0. Speaking about government projects. This is the Turnbull Pet project, blowing out already at $20 billion. It was meant to be 2 years and years behind. Today we discovered that 9 executives on the Snowy scheme have been awarded $4.5 million in short-term contracts. These are bonuses that have come their way. It's just about $11 million in their total pay. It's pretty shocking, James, when you consider the project is going backwards, not forwards. The contract terms, I'm assuming, are not being met if they're blowing out as they are. And let's not forget, this is a taxpayer-owned entity, Snowy Hydro.
I can just picture my grandmother at home just tutting her tongue right now at the waste of money. And you're 100% right. This has not been delivered on time. And yet here we are forking out millions and millions of dollars in bonuses for lack of achievement. You know, we talk about productivity in this country, going back to earlier, talk about productivity, and we can't deliver on those things that were set in stone. Malcolm Turnbull made it very clear this would be delivering power by 2021. And now we're hearing it won't be delivering until at least 2027. And the price is just blown out. We're seeing lucrative pay deals done for these bureaucrats. God knows who's doing them. I picked the wrong industry to go into, quite clearly, Peter. We should be sitting in beachfront mansions by taking on these government contracts. This is what upsets Australians. This is what upsets people in this country when they hear the Greens, Jackie Lambie, say, oh, do away with those tax cuts. Let's put taxes up on people. That's laziness. Let's go after the overpaid bureaucrats in this country and the complete waste that we see on a daily basis before we go getting rid of those tax cuts. Sorry, it just doesn't cut the mustard.
Well said. Well said.
Now, look, it'd be remiss of me before I go to the break not to comment. Luke Grant, you have lifted your game. That beautiful river scene, I reckon your backdrop takes the case. I like a peaceful riverbank. Where are you?
Yay! Get that into you, Ashby.
I can't see it, Luke, but I wish you all the best, mate. I was going to send you a signed poster of Pauline to put in the background. It would have looked better than last week's.
No, you have a look when you get home, James. He's really upped his game. I look forward to next week, gents.
Oh, good.
James Ashby,
Okay.
Luke Grant.
Bye-bye.
There you go. Thank you.